Welcome back to Nightingale's Motorcycles and Restorers. What we're going to do is coming to this time of the year when I'm going to pick up a few little projects which are in for servicing in the workshop. And as I always say, if by doing this, if you're unsure of what we actually do, or anyone in this type of business does, it kind of lets you see what you can do at home, or what you can bring into a workshop and get done, and then you either carry on with it and finish the projects yourself. So a lot of questions I get asked is vapor blasting and dry blasting, soda blasting and processes. Well, we can't do one without the other usually, or degreasing first. So I'm going to show you a project that's come in. Actually happens to be on a TLR 200, and it's nothing to do with the state the part's in, because that's if they didn't come in that condition, we wouldn't have a job. So it's not the unusual bit that it's the condition of it, it's just the thing that it happened to be a no rush kind of job when you're ready, when you can fit it in. So, and the gent's been in every week since, and I've put it on the no rush shelf, you see. So I'll let you have a look at that. I'll bring it up to the bench now. So so he's brought a TLR 200 head in to us, and he said he wants it restoring back to its former glory, because he's going to do the bike you know, pretty much mint again. So he said when he stripped, or his friend stripped the engine down a few years ago, it didn't smoke, it didn't rattle, and he has got a box of bits, and he's been in between to borrow a few bits, pullers, and I think he'd actually taken the top end off it and left the bottom end. So by the look of when you see these parts, it'll probably tell you the kind of project he's got up front, because he's on the limited budget as well. So what we'll do is, he had a look at one of our cylinder heads, which you'll see me showing off from time to time, and it's with the eye lift cam in, and the bigger valves and everything, and fuel covers. So he didn't want any of this, but so he's brought in his cylinder head and his rocker cover. So we'll start with the rocker cover. So he wants this putting back to, remember this has got a valve lifter on it, so we'll see like for like what he wants it putting back to this, but he wants to retain the original camshaft. Now I have had a look before we go any further with this, and it does look like there's no wear on the journals or anything, and apart from putting a cam in, it won't have the double bearings in it, but these engines have gone for 40 odd years, the original ones plus, so I can see where it's coming from with that. So he don't need any of this souped up stuff. So we'll have a look underneath this now. Let's have a close up of this so you can really see. So that's what we've got as one of ours, and that's his. Now if you look in that close, I want you to get a real close up on this, because what he did, he said he bought some stripper from a do-it-yourself store, and he started to soak it in, and he's realised it's like not that good. So we'll have a really close up of that, because you're going to see pictures when it's finished. So at present everything's seized up solid, so but that's not a problem, we can free all that. So we'll go to the cylinder head close up now. So we'll kind of look at, you know, what he kind of wants it back to, because what I'm planning on doing, he wants it back. He doesn't want the barrel though in black, he wants it like this, because he likes the original kind of format on it. So there's two choices. With this one, I will be just taking it back with a mixture of material, which I'll show you on a dry blast what I do, and then I'll be doing it to vapor blasting, which I'm going to get this. So we won't be painting it, we'll be taking it back. If anyone then wants to paint it with because he doesn't want to spend on any ceramic coating, he wants it back looking something like this. So let's have a close-up of this one. We'll just first off in here, I'll just show you what we're up against with So this is the valve seals. They've kind of disintegrated and they've got all kinds of stuff. And let's have a close-up then. So let's get a real close-up on this. So it looks pretty manky, doesn't it? The good thing about it is that you're seeing here and all stuff in it and everything. It's just, you know, the seats actually look good. Still got a plug in it so we can, but yeah, so you've got the gist on it. So that's what we've got. Then I haven't seen the rest of the carburetor yet, but you can do this one close up as well. So, and he wants this back to as new. He's going to bring the rest of the carburetor in, and then we've got a timing cover, which, you know, you can have one of ours, but he wants his original because he's putting it back as showtime. So what I thought I'd do is I'll go through this to show you, because the idea is it's not taking the mick out of this part, because again, if the work like this, we wouldn't be in this type of business. So we've got some studs in, though our media won't upset that. He's realised there's something missing, what kind of concerns me, like the valve springs, the cam, because he hasn't as yet found them, but they'll all be going in the dustbin anyway. But even when we get this taken back, you know, we can get these repaired up if there was anything on these. So there's nothing wrong with it, you know, really. The main thing for me is that it wouldn't be a problem if I had to put fins on it, but the fins are good. So we can see that's quite sad at this stage. So we'll just get one more look again so you can go back and have a look. And then see what we're going to transform this into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the machine, show you how I go through this process, because again, it could be something you've got at home and now you're getting the gist of what to bring into us. Plus I will be doing some other things in this period up to Christmas. This is a Fantic cylinder head, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this back, and I may even take it back to show you the process of dry blasting, wet blasting, and then we might ceramic coat it in a colour. So I'm trying to do a few bits in the workshop. So we'll get to a dry blaster first, and we'll show you the process there. Cheers. So right, we're at a dry blaster now, and as I've said in previous videos, but I'm just going through it again because I say you might have a project at home. We've got the cylinder head now in the rocker, the carb box, and the timing chain cover. What I'm doing with this one, as I always do, I've got a mixture of very fine, ultra fine oxide, which is like talc as well. I've got a fine glass here with some walnut in it. If you want to have a look close up, you can just see some walnut in there, right? So we'll have some of that in it, and what we do then is we bake that at about 150 for two. No, I'm only joking. Right, what we do is we get that in. All I've done beforehand here, I've just give them a quick acetone. I haven't degreased them too much. It's just clean the surface off. It's dry. I haven't got any. I don't want to contaminate my media, you see. So I've just given them a soak in some acetone, as I say, and it's just taking anything off. So we do so many media changes because contamination. You can imagine if, like I was saying, when you go onto ceramic coating, you can't actually use aqua vapour blasting because of the media. So we use a different type of oxide, and if we had contamination, it'd go back on the part, and then we'd be back into trouble when we paint something. So, right, so I'm going to get this. Now, I'll just tell you why I do this, and why I put a bit of glass in it as well, because I always say is, because I can do this, I will do something to show you this. When we do all these, we take this from dry blasting to vapour blasting. Some people want these polishing, these bowls, and different. So what I'll do, I'll show you the same process as if I'm going to go into Canning's room with polishing and polish a bit of this to show you bling on it I can actually get. But the main thing is by putting a bit of glass in it, instead of getting that dull kind of dry blasting finish, it just lights it up a bit. It also lets me have a look at everything. So though it'll come out looking perfect, hopefully, when it goes into the wet blaster, you'll see the difference. We'll get a close up because it'll put the bling on it. Again, different glasses I use in a wet blaster because, as I've always said, you know, the different medias, or when media starts running down a bit, if you've got Laverda casings, if you've got Harley casings, Motor Guzzi casings, if you've got Jap casings, Jap barrels, Jap carbs, with blings going up, so there's difference in glass you play with over the years to get, especially with the kind of customers I have for concourse restoration. So we'll get this on, we'll get this taken back, ultra fine peening, remember, so we have got a spark plug in it, we have got some nuts and bolts in it covering every thread up, but it wouldn't make any difference with this type of media because it's so fine. So we'll get this taken back, and the next picture will show you it out of here ready to go in a vapour blaster. And the next stage, and what I'll just do with that float ball, I'll do after that, I'll take that to a polishing room and polish a bit up and show you a bling we bring them up to. Because sometimes when people have like on your Honda 4s or 6s, they want the bottoms doing, or part of the carbs doing in bling, or they're doing a bit of a custom bike. This could be a rocker top. We'd still go through this process, because if I get to the point where I take it out of here, I've lit it up with a bit of glass, I can see any scars. So if it was critical for a showpiece, I'd take it out with the diamonds then on alloy. I'd take it out before we put it into the next stage. So when you're not putting a primer on or a paint on it, and you're just going for a bit, you can tidy these up, you know, and if it's a show bike or any bike, it's just a standard process. So right, let's get this fired up. See you in a bit. Right, so we've blasted this in a dry blaster with a mixture of oxides and walnut and glass, and spent a little bit more time on them because this is it, you can't have one without the other. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just wait for this to vent off and see. Yeah, all clear. I'll just give this a quick blast down. Right, so let's have a look where we're at. I want to come in and get a bit closer on this. So first off, the cover. The rocker box right inside. Now we're still a bit seized up on these. I know we say about media, but I'm going to put these in an ultrasonic to free this off, and if I have to take these out, but they were solid to start with. A float ball. And the cylinder head. Now, what this would be good for at this stage, if you was just coming to paint this now, this is the ideal key. But because we're moving on and we're going to have them vapour blasted, so now you think that's good. You might notice that because I put a little bit of glass in, instead of the dullness of oxides and walnut, it just gives me, and I can inspect it as well, because what I said I'd do is, which I'll do it in this video, I'll take part of a float box. Now that's peened back and it's nice. I'll do a bit of polishing on that just to show you, because this is the same process I go towards polishing. But now, so we'll take these back to the workshop bench and have a look under a light and show you. And what you'll see, it's quite a, though it's not dull, but it's ready. That'll paint now, and then we'll bring it straight back and we'll vapour it. So let's go and have a look on the bench then. And so we're back to the bench, and if you're looking, following the video through, so let's get some close-ups now. So again, the cover, the rocker box top with a valve lifter inside, and then we'll have a float ball, such light media, you see, but it's just peened it all. But the castings are really nice. So let's have a look at the cylinder head again. No fins off on this one, which is good. Right up close, there's a little bit of pitting round here, but we can grind them back in. No fins off. If you look right the way to the back, all the dirt's gone. So what we'll do now, as you can see, you'd be happy with that. And as I say, if you were painting that now, that'd be a fantastic key, because we've not lost any identification. It's so fine, it's like talcum powder. So, but we're going on to vapouring now. So, and that'd be the preparation, not quite the preparation, because I'd have another media in for if I was going to ceramic coat these. I'd omit the glass and the walnut, but that's where I'd be nearly for prepping, you know, for ceramic coating. So we'll go to a vapour blaster. I might be able to get up to close to let you see how it actually works, and then we'll bring them back out. Remember, the customer's trying to get something like this without painting it. So right, let's go to the blaster. Okay, so into a wet blaster, and what we're going to do is, again, our media for this one, it's so fine. This is what I call like an 80s, 70s, 80s Japanese carburetors, an eye bling. As going back to what I said earlier, if it was Laverda, Harley Davidson, anything like that, Motor Guzzi, we go down a little bit on the bling. It's just, obviously, if you're restoring, you want it to be exact. So you might be able to see a bit of this through the glass when we get some water on at this side. Do you want to come to this side here and just have a look through? And have a bit of noise. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to show it direct onto the part. So we start peening it over. Onto the fins. And once this is done and vapour blasted, all you need is neutral detergent washing up liquid to maintain it. So I'll get these done. As soon as I've got these done, we'll get back under an inspection light. Right, so we're out the wet blaster. There's a few things. I'm just going to give these a wash down. And then we'll show you them washed down, and then we'll take them to a light again to see if we've nearly hit the magic colouring and how we wanted them from what they were when they came in. And I'll just go over a couple of little things again, because I do a lot of race engines and car engine blocks. Is when you're doing glass, people wonder when you're blasting media into things like oxides and all this. Well, there comes a time on an engine case inside where you keep away from oxides blasting from any bearing houses. You've got it masked up. But glass as well, because in some of the glass machines I've noticed there's been white iron oxides in for speed, and this is total glass. Now with this glass machine, this just recirculates, and then as my media gets old, I'll take it to one side and I'll be looking at the different colours, because we go down like on a swatch card. Where the dry blaster, it actually rotates and goes to a vacuum unit, and you're killing it, and then you change it if you think it's when it kind of gets its life has gone. Mine's so fine to start with, you would think the life of the grit's gone, the media. So right, so we'll just give it a wash off. It's important you get as much as you can off of anything when you've been blasting. So we'll just give them a rinse out. Then the media goes back into that tank, and then we're going to a just as a secondary. And what we'll do is we'll just get an airline. And it actually starts changing colour when it dries off. hopefully a brightness. And then we'll go and have a look at it under the light. Get this float going done. And then what I'll do, as I said, there's another piece off the timing cover. I'll actually take them to the polishing room and show you now, because someone would have this on the bike, which you'll see it under the light, hopefully as the date come out of the factory, and this back on, because all the metal's nice and clean. At this stage I'd be looking, you see, because if it was marked, I'd take it off with diamonds now, because if it's part of your show machine, you don't want the gouges in it. But I'm going to polish a couple of sides of this and let you see. On the polishing side, I go from a 1 to 10 on the brightness level. So what I'll do first in here, I'll just put like a pre-buffer over this, 30 seconds, and then take it to the machine. A bit like you at home where you're going through your grades of sandpaper up to 2000. It's the same for me, but I'm probably doing it a bit quicker and then going onto a machine with different soaps and different wheels, different mops. As I say, I only use a powder polish. I don't use any of that a certain product which is banned in here, as I said, a paste. A lot of British guys used to use it. It's a bit like grinding paste for me in here, but right, so we'll take this over to a bench and have a look how bright they are after we've had the aqua vapour blasted. Right, so we're out the vapour blaster. Just give it an airline off. So let's start from the beginning when we first started this video. Close up. Then we'll go on to the rocker box. Close up. See the difference now in the shine. And as I say, all you need now is soapy water. Have a look inside there compared to how that was. So I'll do that now with a bit of ultrasonic. I might put diamond across that edge because it's got a little bit of erosion, but it's only on a sealant field anyway, that. And that's immaculate. So we're getting there. And we'll get the cover. Close up of that. So we've got the picture of it now. I mean, it is lovely, that. I mean, it just shows a few things I do finally, just to tick all the boxes. Is just because obviously on the valve lifter here I've got a little bit of ferrous. Though it's bright now, it'll probably flash over with rust. And what I do, because I've got it here in just on brush form, I just coat that. This is where it really tricks people, because what happens is, look at the match with the silver to the vapour blasting. You can't tell. There's just a little screw there what always goes a little bit casty, rusty, flash rusty. And then it's up to the customer then, they can have them polished or, you know, but that's it, job done on that. Again, the ceramic coating is petrol resistant, brake fluid resistant, 1200 centigrade. So from the end which you saw not very long ago, the customer now comes back in and collects his piece. The rest we can sort out if there's a bit round the valve. So what I'm going to do, still in this video, I'll take this and I'm going to take this to the polishing machine, and I'm just going to go straight over it onto wheels. And on our polishing, as I say, 1 to 10. So you may have a project like if you have fork legs where I've taken all the scars out, and you've got like a sizzle finish where we band it with a belt and then we clear coat it in a matte. They were like in the 70s, like some of the Hondas at the bottom. You've also then got your sizzle finish where it's a dull with a satin over it and it's not bling. Or then we've got bling, we're going to Showtime bling. if we do get the bling and what, like I've done some GT250s here, they were just painted black and they've just come out of the polishing room today, you know, brought them back. We could even give them a coat of a ceramic lacquer, you know. So we'll take these to the polishing room just to show you a few bits more we do. But this process would have been this before I go to the polishing room, because as you can see now, I can see any scars, any marks, and if I did have a few marks, I could take them out. There's no point highlighting a scar, so we'll go over to the polishing room. Okay, so we'll do a side and an edge just to show you from the vapour to polishing. So we'll get kitted up here and just get right. So we're going to have a look at some light. So right, so straight out the polishing room, I'd go through another wheel actually, but I'm just showing it for speed. Let's just try and get some, let's just show you what we were like after vapour, the nice finish. And let's just show you, how's that? And then we'll go on to this bit of timing cover. Come back to the, so like chrome. So there's different finishes of polishing. It's not just a case of you know, standing there, and a lot of people do make them, even if you're at home on the machine where you're pulling it down, because it depends as well. If you go back to sand cast machines, the early Hondas and that, you've just got to watch when metal starts picking up. But a good little tip is, if you just remember that when you're polishing, even at home on one of your little machines, that if you just remember, if you're in your centre of your wheel and you come up to chin, cut, you're cutting. Don't do this, you're cutting and polishing. You want to be cut, and then just think of the floor as polishing. So you're cutting, even if you're going through your rough wheel, your medium wheel, your soft wheel, or your different coloured soaps. And then for polishing, centre of the wheel and go down and go down and go down. As I say, for cutting, when you just don't go up and down on it. And you can get some good results at home as well. Obviously it's a lot, the trouble is with the smaller machines, they start dragging on you, but just try to put not as much pressure on them. So in this video then, you've seen the process of bringing that back to life. Same as we do with polishing. As I say, I think that's give you a few more ideas. I'm going to try and run a few before Christmas of all this, like that cylinder head I've just said off that Fantic. And then I might even coat some ceramic coating, and I might even do a bit of piston coating. I've got we've just sold another couple of heads, so it'll be a cam and a can cover to do, so it'll be, and the valves to do, so it'll be 3 types of ceramic coating, so that might be of some interest. But until the next video, thank you very much. Hope you like that one.